Arizona's Family is your school authority, and we want to let you know right now we have a detailed list of what each school district's reopening plans are currently on our website, azfamily.com, or our mobile news app. A great resource there. Heidi is standing by. As we know, Heidi, many districts presenting parents with options for a return to school, either distance learning or in person, and it's a big decision for families.
It is a huge decision, and there's a lot of memes going around like there's no great decision right now. It's tough either way, but the day is coming very soon that you're going to have to decide. So experts say now is the time to get your kids ready for that new normal of returning to school. So what will that new normal possibly look like? Well, sharing some advice with us this morning is cardiologist and researcher Dr. Ernst von Schwarz. We want to thank you for your time this morning and your insight into this, because this really is one of the hardest decisions parents have had to make in their children's education, probably. Good morning.
Good morning, Heidi, and thanks for having me, and I completely agree with you. These are challenging times, and there's only that much we can do, but as a physician, we have a few very simple recommendations which we as parents, and I'm a parent myself, of course, should follow in order to protect our children and ourselves. And it's in medicine we use what we call the KISS technique, which stands for keep it simple, stupid. So keep it really simple.
You have to keep it simple with kids, right? Because some of the younger kids are not going to understand a lot of the nuances that go with this virus. So what are the basic messages that we need to communicate to our kids about the virus?
Well, we have 5 things which we recommend. Number 1 is before school, try to have a dialogue. Of course, depending on the age and the understanding of your children, but try to explain to them that there is a disease out there which might or might not affect them, but which might hurt grandpa or grandma at home. So there has to be a basic understanding. Number 2, then within the school, of course, we should wear the mask, and that's easier said than done depending on the age and understanding. But what we recommend, for example, use your masks and have little stickers on it, or design your own mask. So involve the kids actively in their mask design so that they do wear them and understand why. And that is the same for basically keeping some degree of social distancing. One of my colleagues recommended develop virtual hugs rather than hugging and kissing within the schools. And of course, we use and give our kids hand sanitizers with their lunchbox to take it into the school so that they usually get used to repeatedly wash their hands and use hand sanitizers. And then lastly...
Yeah, go ahead with your last tip. Go ahead.
Lastly, basically at home, when the kids come home from school, it's the same what I'm doing as a physician when I come from the hospitals. Change your clothes, change your shoes, take a shower, wash your hands, and then greet the family.
Well, I have to ask you, because you are a researcher, I'm curious, when we change the environment so much at school for these kids, I mean, we're all anxious for them to get back to normal. This is not going to look anything like what they're used to. So is it better maybe to keep them at home than to put them in this environment that is so foreign and so sterile and they can't play closely with their friends? What's the mental, the cost of doing that compared to keeping them at home?
I think you're absolutely right, Heidi. It's a completely different world. It's a new normal. And the number 1 key success for anything life, business, and health is adaptation. I think at this point we have to adapt to a new normal. I don't have the right answer for you, but I think the social contact in whatever form for kids with their peers in school is a positive thing, and that should be promoted.
Well, and if anything, they can look back on this and say, remember when we got through that really weird time at school when we couldn't really play together and we had to social distance and we all had the coolest masks? Doctor, thank you for your insight this morning. Again, a very difficult decision for parents, and you just have to do what's right for you. But it all starts with having those conversations, and that is why parenthood, Yetta, is so exhausting. So many conversations to have. Thanks so much, Doc.